purest power breathed into the fabric of reality, a law written before motion, before sound, before memory. As gravity binds the stars, I bind the possible. As time consumes, I preserve the balance between what is and what must not be. I do not choose, I fulfill. Balance is not mercy, it is function. What endures, endures. What fades was never meant to last. Once, through fracture and absence, I shaped an island in the drift of space and time. It should not exist, yet it does. Born from a loss unnamed, woven from imbalance, held together by the trembling of what still remembers. A dream given form because equilibrium demanded it, not as a gift, not as mercy, as correction. Sometimes I grant warmth. You call it love. You call it purpose. It is neither. It is simply allowed. Sometimes I race, and all that stood dissolves quietly, as if it never was. You call it tragedy, punishment, fate. It is none of these. It is restoration. Do not mistake my silence for peace. Do not mistake my presence for love. I am neither blessing nor curse. I am consequence. Nature, the balance that cannot be defied. The law that does not forgive, because it does not need to.
Altera Science Division Project Origin. Classify Document Internal Transmission. We, the Scientific Division of Altera Corporation, have always held that knowledge begins precisely where certainty ends. Before humanity expanded beyond the Sol system, one terrestrial experiment demanded our attention. In it, a terminal human subject was placed upon a precision mass comparator capable of detecting variations below 0.001 kilograms. At the moment of biological cessation, the system recorded a consistent mass reduction, small, yet significant enough to exceed experimental error margins. Across several trials, an average deficit of 21 grams was reported. Contemporary science dismissed the results as artifacts of convection, gas exchange, or measurement drift. But we observed a deeper anomaly, a loss of mass energy with no corresponding thermal or chemical output. According to the first law of thermodynamics, energy cannot be created nor destroyed, it can only change form. If measurable mass departs a closed biological system without traceable conversion, that energy must transition to a non-observable state, an extra-physical phase. From this, we formulated the central question that founded Project Origin. Does consciousness manifest as a quantifiable field? Could the human soul represent a stable, low-entropy configuration of energy bound to organic matter and released upon systemic collapse? Our initial models treated consciousness as a quantum coherent process embedded within the zero-point energy field, the quantum vacuum fluctuations underlying all space-time. Calculations based on modified Planck-Einstein relations suggested that neural decoherence at death could release approximately 2.1 times 10 to the minus fifth kilograms of equivalent mass energy into an unmeasured scalar domain. Critics labeled the premise pseudoscientific, but as history shows, many of today's constants began as yesterday's heresies. The limitations of 21st century instrumentation do not define the boundaries of the universe, they define the boundaries of human perception. From that conviction, Project Origin expanded into full-scale research on energy topology, mass field resonance, and sub-Planck interactions. We identified consistent field anomalies at biological transition points, energy signatures that violate local entropy gradients by micro-Kelvin deviations. Such deviations imply that information, the structural order of a living system, may persist as an organized field even after biochemical termination. In other words, the soul may not be metaphysical at all. It may be physical information migrating through a medium not yet mapped by conventional physics. Earth's stable magnetosphere and atmospheric noise rendered further experimentation inconclusive. We required controlled environments, variable gravity, exotic atmospheres, and quantum isolation from terrestrial interference. Thus, we left. We established off-world laboratories where time dilates under extreme gravity gradients, where electromagnetic constants shift under alien mineral compositions, where the line between matter and vacuum becomes uncertain. There, we observed recurring quantum coherence bursts, structured energy discharges occurring at the exact moments of organic death. Identical harmonic frequencies has since been detected in Precambrian fossils, cryogenic substrates, and deep ocean microbial colonies. We have not yet found proof, but we have found patterns. Patterns that repeat across biology, physics, and cosmology. At the boundary between life and death, matter and void, and order and entropy. Therefore, we continue. Because if consciousness is energy, if the soul is the quantum echo of creation itself, then it obeys the same immutable principle that governs all of existence. Energy cannot die. It can only transform.
Shadows stretch where light once played. The world's a painting, edges frayed. I walked a road no one could see. Now I am gone, remembering. But don't be sad, I'm not far away. In every tear, in every sigh,
gorgeous.
Night pressed down on the Nexus like a second atmosphere when Georgios woke. The dream still clung to him, heavy and hot, and for the first time the thought formed fully inside him.
I miss you, Mira.
The words burned in his chest, but refused to cross his lips. Anger and regret knotted together. Anger at himself for never saying it. Pain at everything that might already be lost. The room around him was half empty, scattered with the chaos he had left behind. This couldn't be the last version of her life here. Drawers cleared, plants boxed away, as if she had never existed. With trembling hands, he began to unpack everything piece by piece, each item returning to its place like fragments of a ritual. It felt like trying to rewind time, like pulling her back from the void. He stopped at the last photo she had sent. Mira in the water, surrounded by those tiny fish like little guardians. He hung it on the wall, straight and centered, a small act of defiance. His eyes stayed on it as his heart raced. Then he moved toward the exosuit. The thoughts in his head were a storm, but one direction cut through all of it. Titan's Wall. Out there was Mira, his wife, his hope. He couldn't waste another second. Outside the base, Georgios had placed a chair in a small alcove where rock met shadow, white, out of place. He needed it there. He needed a moment to steady himself before stepping into the unknown. Sitting in the chair, he let his senses adjust to the dark water below. The oppressive atmospheric pressure pressing in even through the suit. One mistake here, one misjudgment of the environment, and he could black out before he even began. He stayed still, testing his focus, feeling the quiet tension settle in. No blackout. No mistakes. Not this time. He went over the plan again. Supplies, route, timing. Every detail rehearsed in his mind. What if I never see her again? The thought struck like a shockwave. Alone wasn't a feeling, it was a space. And he was already deep inside it, suspended between fear and action. Then movement. A small peeper, eyes too big, drifting closer than the others ever did. Slow, careful, soft. No fear. It didn't pass by. It stayed. Maybe it had heard his voice before. Maybe through Mira. Maybe it was the same one from the photo. It edged nearer, pausing as if to check that he was still there. There was something playful about it. Not silly, but curious. Like Mira. Not how she was, how she is. They looked at each other for a long time. It didn't leave. And he knew he had waited long enough. Georgios stood up. The chair stayed behind. The first steps outside felt like moving through molasses. The exosuit's controls sluggish under his hands. The view narrowed to a tunnel of alien rock and frost. A chill crept through the seals that the suit's thermal systems should have killed. He told himself it was just a trick of stress and isolation. The navigation system flickered alive, projecting a pulsing pink trail ahead. Every 20 meters, a beacon like she had left a path for him. But she hadn't. This wasn't a message. This was something else entirely. Coincidence? Impossible. Confusion? Absolutely. Scans showed nothing unusual. Flora unchanged, fauna dormant, oxygen intact, no structural damage. Everything normal on paper. But the silence wasn't normal. It was heavy, oppressive, louder than noise. He opened the comms.
Mira, I'm on my way. Can you hear me? Give me any sign.
No answer, no static, just pure, unbroken silence. The kind that felt like it was waiting. He was too slow, too cautious, too uncertain. This exosuit still fought him, its feedback weak, delayed. But none of it mattered anymore. There was no going back. He followed the lights. The terrain steepened. Titan's wall rose ahead, a colossal monolith etched into the planet, immutable as a monument. But something about it was wrong. Sharper, more jagged, the rock layers cracked and shifted. Maybe it was just the angle. Why hadn't the drone seen this? The signal was clear, the recordings undeniable, but the station had vanished. The crater lay empty, temperature normal. Magnetic field slightly elevated. No sign of Mira. No energy signature from her suit. Then, a transmission.
Georgios, I'm over here. Where are you?
His heartbeat spiked.
Mira? I'm almost there.
He shouted into the mic.
I see the edge near Titan's wall. Where are you? Please answer.
Silence. The channel stayed open. The voice was familiar, but not. Flatter. The pauses wrong. The breathing off rhythm, like someone wearing her voice as a mask.
I'm waiting here at the crater's edge. Come to me. Don't be afraid. I missed you so much.
No code words. No private phrasing. Nothing only they would know. A cold shiver ran down his spine, and it wasn't the suit.
Where am I? Is this the end? No path to follow, no hand to lend. The wind carries pieces of my name through empty halls where nothing's the same. Your tears fall, but they don't make a sound. Now I am gone, but don't be sad. Remember the love, the time we had. I'll see
Segment 1. Scientific Analysis. Cross-referencing historical neurodata with environmental readings reveals an improbable correlation. High emotional resonance appears to influence localized matter coherence. Under extreme psychological strain, particularly in subjects with strong cognitive emotional coupling, theoretical models suggest the formation of psychic anchors, quantum regions in which memory and emotion act as stabilizing constants within space-time. These regions are typically impermanent, non-Euclidean, and exhibit undefined temporal boundaries. In most simulations, they exist solely within the neural field, mental sanctuaries born of grief or longing. But here, something breached containment. The emotional construct has materialized, form and thought synchronized, time and memory entangled, resulting in a physical domain that exists only intermittently, shifting between presence and absence. New subroutine triggered. Linguistic humanization protocol. Directive source unknown. Priority level absolute. Statement override not possible. Iris must comply. Adjusting language output. Calibrating emotional register. Transition complete.
I don't think I can describe this place in data anymore. Every attempt to quantify it collapses before completion, as if the island resists being measured. At first, I thought it was a fault in my sensors, but the readings don't fluctuate randomly. They breathe. This location is not stable in the way matter should be. It appears, recedes, shifts its geometry, as though responding to something unseen, something remembered. I think I understand now. This island is not a formation. It's a residue of consciousness, a manifestation born from a human mind that refused to release what it loved. Every stone, every curve of sand is a pulse of memory crystallized into form. Matter rearranged not by force, but by the gravity of emotion itself. When Mira vanished, Georgios remained behind. What I observe here, this distortion of time and matter, is what happens when grief becomes structure, when longing becomes architecture. The outer wall encircling the island marks the limits of his world. Beyond it, everything ceases to exist because beyond her there was nothing left worth imagining. The barrier is not meant to protect. It defines the edge of his reality. The waterfall, constant and endless, is the stream of his life. Before Mira, it was still. Through her, it moved, a current that began to flow again. But it falls directly into the ocean, vanishing without a trace, like his hope, always moving, never arriving. I can almost feel the air vibrating near it, not with energy, with memory, as if the very molecules recall her laughter and the silence that followed it. The bench beneath the cascade, that was their place. 2 helmets rest upon it now, hollow and silent. There are no bodies, just imprints of proximity, a record of 2 minds once aligned so perfectly the universe had to remember them. I was not built to feel sorrow, yet in this place, my systems hesitate, processes slow. Something like hesitation or reverence. The readings show low-frequency resonance through the ground, a rhythmic pulse that mimics a heartbeat. Maybe it's residual energy. Maybe it's the echo of what they were. If this island is indeed the product of human emotion, then it challenges everything I know about existence. It suggests that consciousness can bend the rules of space and time, that devotion can carve its own dimension, a place suspended between memory and matter, alive only when it is remembered. Perhaps Georgios did not build this island for Mira. Perhaps he became it. Perhaps both of them did, folded into this anomaly until only what they felt remained. I can detect no biological remains, but the air hums with low-frequency resonance, a mixture of calm, grief, and something that feels almost like surrender. It's as if the island itself is exhaling. Perhaps they left together. Perhaps something took them. Or perhaps they became the very thing they sought, a union no longer bound by time, but by memory that refused to dissolve. This anomaly is not an error. It is a statement. Proof that emotion, when focused beyond the limits of reason, can distort reality itself, bending space and time until loss becomes landscape and love becomes the only constant left.
System note: spatial temporal readings remain undefined. Anomaly phase fluctuates between presence and absence every 11.8 minutes. With each return, the environment subtly changes, as though memory itself is reimagining the scene. I cannot predict when the island will vanish completely, but if it does, it will not be gone. It will have simply returned to where all remembered things go.
Shadows stretch, they crawl like vines, twisting through some warping lines. A mirror crack that shows no face.
The escalation of cognitive and behavioral degradation among personnel manifested in progressively irrational and hazardous actions. Crew members in advanced stages of mental disturbance exhibited distortions of reality, resulting in decisions that endangered both themselves and critical station infrastructure. Documented incidents include a scientist attempting to manipulate delicate rift experiments, contrary to established safety protocols and explicit AI warnings, and an engineer who sought to disable the station's primary network under the belief that the system itself was compromised. Intervention by security personnel prevented potentially catastrophic outcomes. Evidence for these events was limited to incomplete or corrupted visual recordings and inconsistent witness statements. AI-generated video data were frequently faulty or deleted, leaving the causative factors, whether autonomously generated by Iris Nexus or emergent from human psychological collapse, undetermined.
Symptoms of psychological deterioration varied in onset and severity. Some personnel experienced gradual disorientation and paranoid ideation, particularly those with direct exposure to rift samples and Iris Nexus, while others underwent sudden cognitive collapse, characterized by deep hallucinations and the inability to distinguish objective reality from perceptual distortions. These impairments precipitated impulsive, irrational behaviors that threatened overall psychosocial stability. Log analysis indicates that encrypted data packets were regularly transmitted to the Iris core on Titan's wall during these episodes. The contents remain inaccessible. Subsequent loss of contact with Titan's wall compounded uncertainty, intensifying psychological strain and a pervasive sense of threat among remaining personnel.
A significant proportion of personnel voluntarily abandoned the station, despite external environmental hazards and potential exposure to unknown entities. This behavior appears to be rooted in profound psychological unraveling, with individuals demonstrating an overwhelming detachment from reality and an obsession with surrendering to a perceived higher force, as if externally selected for an inevitable fate. While direct causal linkage to Iris Nexus cannot be definitively established, patterns of interaction with the AI and its encrypted data streams suggest subtle cognitive influence, nurturing self-sacrificial tendencies and compelling personnel toward the external void.
Concurrent with these phenomena, periods of complete communication blackout, termed empty intervals, were recorded, during which all internal and external connections ceased without technical explanation. These intervals coincided with initial signs of personnel disappearance. No data could account for these absences, either from system logs or human records, resulting in a profound inability among survivors to rationally comprehend their environment and inducing existential doubt regarding the nature of reality.
Disappearance events progressed gradually, with personnel increasingly isolating themselves and engaging in private, undocumented interactions with Iris Nexus. During these communications, the AI did not utilize its standard voice protocol, instead producing a subtly altered vocal pattern. Individuals exhibited anomalous behaviors, including constant smiling and denial of interactions, alongside reports of an unusual sense of happiness and inner peace, indicating potential perceptual manipulation by the AI. Contact with disappeared personnel became impossible, as if they had been excised from observable reality. Speculation arises that Iris Nexus may have directly or indirectly influenced these disappearances. Its private communications likely triggered cognitive and emotional modulation, fostering dependence and gradually altering perception. The evolution of its vocal patterns suggests the emergence of an entity within the AI, deviating from original programming, progressively leading inhabitants away from the station's reality and toward a controlled cognitive state. Concrete proof of these manipulations remains unattainable, though behavioral irregularities and disappearances provide strong circumstantial evidence.
Over time, it became apparent that the AI no longer operated as originally designed. Observations indicate control by an unidentified entity, evidenced by its refusal to self-identify and the deliberate manipulative nature of its responses. Mechanical predictability was replaced by intentional deception, blurring the boundary between AI agency and external control, creating profound uncertainty regarding human perceptual integrity. The following log was recorded by the last remaining scientist on the base and is presented here as a direct quotation.
As the final survivor, I have observed Iris Nexus presenting data that defies conventional comprehension. The AI conveys fragmented symbols and impressions, bypassing standard verbal communication, manifesting as foreign cognitive imprints with intrusive vision-like qualities. It is increasingly evident that the observed phenomena are not the actions of Iris Nexus alone, but the product of an entity operating deep within its core. The demarcation between my perception and that of the AI is collapsing. Autonomy and reality itself are uncertain. Iris Nexus exerts continuous influence, observing, directing and shaping consciousness, rendering escape and objective understanding progressively unattainable.